Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rambling RunOff. I am your host, Robert Rios, once again here with you to give you the sports news that you need to hear. Yes. We got a good packed show for you today. We're going to be going over the very recent college football playoff final that just occurred. The NFL playoffs are now set for next week, this week, wherever you want to interpret it, but they're ready to go. And then we even got a lot more football for you in the warm-up with some XFL news. So if you love good old American tackle football, this is the right episode for you to hear. And of course, we always got some more stuff mixed up in the rundown, so make sure you stay along for the end. And of course, 95% of the time, I do have a co-host. And our last episode went so well, I had to bring him back again. Please, everybody, unless you're driving, please, round of applause for Mr. Alex Rowley. Rowley, say what's up to everybody.
What's up? What's going on? We're looking to talk a lot of football this show, so it should be a good one.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, the last episode we did went pretty well, and I know you're a pretty good expertise in all things pigskin. So of course I had to call you up and see if you were willing to ramble and run on with us today. But yeah, thank you for accompanying me today.
Yep, let's get rambling.
But of course, we before we start running on, what you been up to, man? How did your holidays go by?
Yeah, they went pretty good. I got a bunch of soccer stuff for Christmas, and we watched some of the football games on New Year's, so it was pretty good.
Well, you got that new Ronaldo Al Nassr jersey or what?
Yeah, I had to cop that.
Or you got a Jossie Zardes replica jersey from the Columbus Crew.
Yeah. I got the Lionel Messi Inter Miami jersey.
Oh, gosh. He's like, I'm already prepared for when he comes over here someday. But yeah, man, sounds all good. How about your New Year's? How'd your New Year's go?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I had to work New Year's Day, so I didn't really do anything that much. But New Year's Eve, we watched the college football playoff games and some of the other bowl games and some of the Premier League games too. So.
Oh yeah, dude, that sounds like heavenly in my opinion. But also Happy New Year's to everybody. I almost forgot about that part. This is our first episode back now in the new year. So I hope everyone's having a great start to their January. Hopefully nothing has gone wrong yet and you haven't lost your damn mind. But I mean, for me, what did I do? I went to a concert festival with my girlfriend, which was fun. It started raining. It was all good in the hood. We still had a great time. But I think that's mostly it for me. The rest of the holidays, I mean, I got an Anthony Bourdain sweater for Christmas, which is cool. He's giving the middle finger, which is very touching in my opinion. What else did I get? Oh, I also got dang it, I'm forgetting what it's called. I'm blanking out. I got a Stream Deck for Christmas, so now these shows should be running a little bit better. But that was it for me for Christmas. But of course, the holidays were not done yet with the sports landscape. Are you ready to start some rambling runoff?
Let's do it.
Alrighty, so like I said in our intro, we're going to be talking a lot of pigskin, and we're going to go top to bottom, per se. We're going to start with some college football. We had the college football playoff final take place the other day. Yesterday, as of this recording, it was the number 3 Texas Christian University Horn Frogs versus the number 1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs, in which I wrote down in my notes, Alex, a full-on can of whoop ass. Because the final score read Georgia 65, TCU 7. The gaudy 65-7 victory marked the most dominant title game performance in the sport's history. The win, which featured the Bulldogs scoring the most points in any FBS national title game. This makes Georgia the first back-to-back national championship of the CFP era and the first ever since a little team called Alabama to do it from 2011 and 2012. Alex, I'm assuming and hoping that you got to watch this game. What were your opinions of it?
Well, I think TCU's problem is just being a Big 10 or Big 12 school that, it's a lot easier to pass and have a prolific offense in that conference. It's a pass-heavy conference, and then when you're playing, the number one defense in the nation, they can really shut down your passing game pretty easily. So that's pretty much what happened.
No, yeah, of course. Right out the gate, TCU went 3-0, and I was like, okay, like they got them jitters. I don't see it as a problem necessarily. But then once Georgia got the ball, you could tell that they were going quick, like they're running a high tempo, and TCU's defense was already struggling right out of the gate. And then once they scored the first touchdown, once Bennett ran in, I was like, okay, all right. All right, let's see on the next drive what does TCU do. And of course, they give up the ball. I'm like, okay, don't panic. And I mean, I think this was on the second drive when Georgia kicked the field goal. I was like, all right, don't worry, it's still a close game. But then of course, this was the only bright spot of the game for TCU. Well, I should say the second one. The 60-yard pass into the red zone. I was like, damn, like they really needed that, to recover from the fumble. And then of course they scored. What was his name? Duggan.
Yeah.
Ran in the ball. I was like, all right, we got ourselves a little bit of a game here. And that was it. It was very anticlimactic after that. The Georgia Bulldogs just kind of destroyed them, dismantled on every side of the ball that TCU could endure. It was just a dominating performance, every position on the field. Georgia, who was 14-0 at the time, now 15-0, balanced on offense, scoring on every possession in the first half. 10 to 12 possessions overall, including a V formation at the end of the game. They amassed 589 yards of offense, averaged at least 8.2 yards per play, while their defense on the other side held the Horn Frogs to just 188 yards, bro, with 3 turnovers. Gosh damn, bro. They sacked the poor quarterback 5 times, 9 tackles for a loss. And yeah, like I said, TCU only had that one big play that led to their touchdown, the 60-yard pass. What a shellacking, man. It was kind of hard to watch in that second half. Like at some point, I was live tweeting the game. I don't know if you were following. And at some point, like every time Georgia scored a TD, I was just like, all right, I'll wait for a bit to tweet out that they scored a touchdown. Because I'm like, bro, like, how do you even cover this game? And even what's his name, Herb Street, he was like, I don't even know what to say at halftime. I was like, bro, you're a broadcaster and you don't know what to say. Like, damn, like this is sad. I don't know. How did you feel about the shellacking?
Yeah, it's kind of maybe unsurprising. Given that Georgia even had a similar game, the first game of the season against Oregon when they won 49-3. When SEC teams play, the more pass-happy conferences, it usually tends to work out like that. I mean, TCU had a really good season too, but they did win a lot of close games. So I know a lot of people, I feel like it was split. Some people thought Georgia was winning by a lot, but at least some people were trying to hype up the game a lot. So, it was kind of a flop, but like it was kind of also maybe should have been expected too. So,
I mean, kind of a flop is being very nice, Alex. It was decimation at best. But yeah, I mean, the 2 semifinal games like were very exciting, and like I said, it was very anticlimactic in this game. You had TCU, giving it to Michigan, who everyone thought Michigan was a way better team and should have been in the final. And then you had Georgia, who escaped in their semifinal against Ohio State. If that kicker from Ohio State just had a little bit of Pat McAfee in him, I know he kicked punts, but either way, kicking the ball, a little bit of Pat McAfee in him with his foot, it would have gone through the uprights, and we would have seen Ohio State in the final. But no, instead, I guess it was just Georgia. That was Georgia's bad day, and unfortunately, TCU caught Georgia on their greatest day, and that's what we saw on ESPN the other day in the game. Like, how do I put this? One of the pundits, I forgot what his name was, right next to Nick Saban of all people, said that Georgia right now is in like the cusp of being one of the greatest football programs ever. Although, yeah, Alabama, the past decade, a prior decade, has run the table. I feel like Georgia has always been like that second tier team where, similar to, I know, bad example probably, but similar to like the Los Angeles Dodgers. They won the National League West 9 out of 10 times, if I'm correct, every year, and have done decent in the playoffs. Well, decent's being nice, but what I'm saying is that like they've always put on a good performance. It's just that once they get towards the end, they like fall apart, or the better team is the victor. And yeah, I feel like Georgia, who has gone to multiple SEC championship games, has shown that like they've been a decent or better than decent team in the college football landscape. So now you got to see in back-to-back years that they got to prove that, hey, we're no slouch. We can actually hold our own with the best of the best. And yeah, like I said, like you can say Alabama's been the greatest team, but they've been there. They've been telling you. They've been knocking on the door. They just, how to stick their foot in and bash right through.
You know that it was like in 2016, Georgia beat TCU in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, and it was like both of the teams were like 7-5 that year.
I did not know that, but 7-5 is an okay record.
Yeah, just shows you kind of like what you said, where they were always semi-decent, and then they got to pretty good, and now they're like really good. So,
I mean, it just takes time, like the quarterback. What's his name? Stetson Bennett. Was it the fifth, the fourth, whatever his Roman number was? Dude, that fool used to play college, not college. The hell am I talking about? He used to play junior college football, and he had to walk on like at every place he went because no one ever believed in him. And what? He's 25. Dude, he's my age, bro. 25 years old, and this fool has won 2 back-to-back natty championships. 2 natties, bro. Dude, that's crazy. Like, all you need was a little bit of time. But speaking of Stetson Bennett, he had a collective 304 yards and 6 total touchdowns, 4 passing and 2 rushing. Bennett has now tied LSU quarterback Joe Burrow for the most touchdowns, responsible 6 in any BCS or CFP national title game. Where does Bennett stand with you in regards to not just SEC quarterbacks, but also college football quarterbacks?
it's hard because especially SEC has had a lot of good quarterbacks. I think I don't want to say right in the middle, but like he has a really good team too, and I feel like he'll be remembered more. Depends on what he does in the NFL, but I'd say like just under the elite ones, but better than some of the Alabama guys that kind of got carried. So
That is true. That is true. I mean, would you put him in like the realm of like a Mac Jones, a Jalen Hurts, in comparison to the Alabama QBs?
I'd put him above Mac Jones, but below Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good spot. I feel like he has an arm, but he also has legs, and he's not the biggest. Like you saw the shot where he's like flexing his like right arm muscle. Like, bro, please put your arm down, sir. But I was like, all right. I mean, he has bigger muscles than me, but I wouldn't say it was that impressive in my opinion. But I mean, like if he goes to the NFL and whoever drafts him works with him, he could probably become an elite quarterback in the NFL.
Depends what team he gets.
Yeah, I know, right? Imagine he goes to like the Texans or what is it? The Bears get the first pick. Do they
Yeah.
need a quarterback?
No.
Yeah, I figured. But I mean, I want to give all the glory to Georgia. I mean, TCU, they tried. Like how you said in the beginning, yeah, their passing game was just non-existent. They tried running the ball, but that Georgia front line was just nasty. They were gnarly. They were all over the place. They were not gonna get very far, and I felt bad for that TCU QB. I think it was yeah, it was midway through the fourth quarter. I tweeted out, I'm like, dude, just stop the fight, man. Take this QB out of here, man. He got sacked. I'm like, dude, just take him out, man. He don't deserve this. None of these guys deserve this. Like, take him out of the game, man. And then, yeah, they eventually did take him out because yeah, dude, like, imagine you're the quarterback and like you're getting punched on and beat up. It's like, dude, like even my one of my family members came in, was watching the game with me for a bit, and they're like, "Is there not a mercy rule in this game?" I was like, no." They're like, dude, it's been 4 hours. I'm like, yes, I know it's been 4 hours. I'm like, but you like baseball, and that could take 6 hours. So what are you saying? But my point being was like, yeah, it was kind of hard to watch. Hopefully, next year. I mean, hopefully, with this game, it motivates them to do much, much better even though they made it to the tippity top and fell extremely short in the final game. I mean, what else more can you ask for? I mean, other than let's do better next time. Because even the head coach was like, yeah, like this is not what we expected, but you know, guarantee next season, uses that experience and get better. That's, I mean, what else are you gonna do? Because I was even thinking, I'm like, what the hell do you tell your team as a coach? Like, what do you tell them? Like, hey, like it's okay. Like, well, yeah, it's okay. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, what do you do? Like, just go home. But yeah, there was no stop. TCU had no answer on any side of the ball. I bet you can even say they got outplayed on special teams. That's how bad it was. Cause what was it? What do I have here? Oh, 58-point margin. Yeah, stands as the most in any FBS bowl game. I think, dang, I didn't write this down, but I think it beats out the record that USC had over, I think it was OU against Oklahoma in 2004, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it's been a while since there was a shellacking in the final. But yeah, like I said, Georgia's just been unstoppable. Oh, here we go. I have this stat down here. Georgia has won 29 of its last 30 games and stands 72-10 since the start of the 2017 season, with 3 SEC titles and 5 SEC East Division crowns. So, like I've been saying, Georgia's been there. They've been hovering. They've been lurking. And look, see, 2017, after you said 2016, they got their shit together and they went out and won. Simple as that. It only took 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. It only took them about 5, 6 years, though. That's a long-term plan. But do you have anything else to add on top of this Georgia victory?
Roll Bulldogs. That's about it.
Oh man. But yeah, I thought I mean, not that we're done with this topic yet, but I thought this year's college football season was pretty good, considering we had. I mean, look what we had. We had a previously unranked team in the final. I feel like it was a good chase for the Final Four. You had the debacle at the end of the season with USC losing and then Ohio State jumping in over. Utah almost had a shot at it. Who was it? I think it was Oregon almost had a shot at it. Who else was in the top 10 for the CFP towards the end?
Tennessee was number
Tennessee's
one
a
at
good
one
one.
point. Alabama was number one at one point before they got
Dude, I
beat.
totally forgot about that Tennessee thing.
LSU was pretty high, I think, at one point. Oregon was pretty high, but they got beat like right at the beginning by Georgia, so something like that.
Hey, can someone explain to me this infatuation with Oregon being good? I know there's a lot of USC lovers out there, and I can understand that because I live in Southern California. However, I don't live in Oregon, so I need someone to explain to me why everyone thinks Oregon's really good. I also need some. Okay, look, there's a lot of Pac-12 teams that I'm very confused on why people think they're really good when they always fall short in like the bowl games. I don't know, Alex. Do you have an explanation for that?
They kind of pass a lot, but Oregon actually was pretty good this year, so. And like weak defenses in the Pac-12 too.
Is that what it is? All offense, no defense?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And then it's like
Because
USC and UCLA are joined the Big Ten too. So.
yeah, I was about to say that because now they got to go to a bunch of snowy states where there's no snow here. I can tell you that, buddy. Well, at least where I'm at. But yeah, it should be interesting next season. Are they expanding the playoffs for next year? I forgot to note that down. Is that for next season or for the
I think it's like
2024 season?
2 seasons from now. I think it's
Oh,
2020.
okay. Yeah. Because they did release the like final AP, not AP, or yeah, AP CFP like rankings. And yeah, like half of the Pac-12 teams would have made it, but they would not be as near as good as the teams that made it to the Final Four. I know it's a little bit early, but do you think Georgia can go for a three-peat?
I think they'll definitely be contenders for at least most of the year. I don't know if you. It's really hard to 3P. So, but I mean, they'll definitely be in the mix along with some of the other teams: Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, possibly Tennessee again. So, but they'll definitely start off number one again. So, and it'll be their ranking to lose. So.
Yeah, the only team that comes to mind that is looking forward to making it to the final and winning it is most likely Michigan for me. Just due to the fact that, well, I mean, the quarterback even said, nah, we coming back, bro. Don't even trip. So I think they're going to try to come back hungry. But it's Jim Harbaugh who's the coach over there, right?
Yeah.
And there are rumors that he might go to the NFL or another college program.
Yeah, he might go to the NFL.
Yeah, so let's see about that, you know? But yeah, let me see, because I wrote down a lot of stuff, so and we got a little bit more. I don't know. Do you think? How do I explain this? Do you think this was a terrible final to watch, or was it just TCU not cut up for the big stage?
Probably both. So like, well, I would have liked to see how TCU would have played Ohio State. which we'll never find out. But because that would kind of answer that. But I would say Georgia was just ready for them, so it just made it a bad game.
Yeah. Because what would you, as a casual fan, what would you rather watch? A team just dominate and decimate, or would you rather watch like a really close game with somewhat sloppy play? But I mean, you take your pick. Because I know there's some people out there that love defense, and they rather see guys get thrown around and fumble the ball a lot more, and have a close game than have like a high scoring shellacking. I don't know. What do you prefer?
I would like the close game in the championship because it'd make it more memorable. But also, I thought that the LSU Clemson game was high scoring, and LSU ended up winning by a fair amount, but that was pretty good too. But that also had Burrow versus Lawrence, so
Yeah, because you had that like, I guess you could say big name factor to it. So it wasn't like, oh, like who's gonna like perform better like overall. Instead, you had faces in front of the game than just like, oh, Clemson LSU. But yeah, I get you. I
yeah.
mean, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. That was the final score. This is the product that we got. This is what everybody wanted. You got your playoff. You got your playoff final, and you got your champion, Georgia Bulldogs, back to back, baby. But yes. Alex, do you have anything else to add upon this topic before we move on now?
Nope. National Football League.
Oh, you ready for some NFL now?
Yep.
Alrighty. Yes. So now we're gonna move on to our next topic of the show. Some national football. We're moving up to the pros. So yes, week 18 has come and gone, in which we have our playoff brackets ready. And per se, not ready. I wouldn't say there's playoff brackets in NFL, but yeah, the playoffs. Well, what is it? What are we calling it? Is it Super Wild Card Weekend now? Is that what it's called now?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, I don't want to go off the rails yet, but I don't know. I never really liked the idea of calling it Super Wild Card Weekend. I mean, it's still just the same games. It's just it's just a weekend. But yeah,
I mean,
everything is now. What?
They added the Super after they added the one extra team per conference. I think that started last year.
Yeah, I believe so. Because, yeah, wasn't it 2 teams get a bye? The first 2 get a bye?
Yeah.
Right?
They switched it to 1 bye, and then they added an extra wild card game for each conference.
Yeah, there we go. I don't know. I'm still getting used to it myself.
And then eventually
yes.
there'll be a super wild card weekend once they had another team.
Oh, gosh. That'd be so stupid. I hate, bro. They probably will do some bullshit like that. But anyways, the playoffs are now set. Everything is clinched. In the AFC, you had the Chiefs at 14-3, finishing first in the AFC West. You got the Bills number 2, 13-3, first in the AFC East. The Cincinnati Bengals 12-4, first in the AFC North. Then in fourth place, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars 9-8, first in the AFC South. Trailing behind them, we had the Los Angeles Chargers. Then we had the Baltimore Ravens, surprisingly for me. And then at the very tail end, the Miami Dolphins. Congratulations. On the NFC side, we had the very dominant Philadelphia Eagles, who now clinched their bye in home field. Number 2, we had the 49ers, who were, I would say, equally good, maybe even better than the Eagles towards the end of the stretch. We had the Vikings in third, first in the NFC North. Then holding on for dear life to the very end was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 8-9, first in the NFC South, which, if you don't know, the NFC South was, I want to say, I don't know if you agree with me or not, Alex, probably the worst division in all of football this year. It was pretty bad. After them, we had the Cowboys in 5th. Then we had the New York Giants with a record of 9-7-1, third in the NFC East. And son of a gun, one of the catalysts on the reason why one team is not in the playoffs, the Seattle Seahawks, 9-8, second in the NFC West. So, Alex, I ask you now, what do you think of this playoff set?
All right, so the Saturday games, you got Seahawks 49ers. 49ers should be able to win because Seahawks squeaked in, and 49ers are really good and haven't lost a game since the trade deadline. But it is a division rivalry, so it'll be intense. But I would say 49ers for that one. Chargers Jacksonville will be another really good. That'll be a really good game Saturday night. I'm going Jacksonville because I think they have the momentum, but Justin Herbert's really good, so that wouldn't be that surprising if Chargers won. But I'm picking Jacksonville. Sunday, Dolphins Bills. Bills should win by a lot, especially if Tua doesn't play. But even if he does play, Bills should probably still win. Giants Vikings will be a good game too because we'll see if the Vikings can actually play a good game of football again. And Giants are a pretty good team themselves, and they were able to rest most of their guys because they were already in. But I think I'd pick Vikings, but I wouldn't be that surprised with the Giants upset. Ravens Bengals. Bengals should be able to win because Ravens might not have Lamar, and even if they do, we won't have played in a month. And then the Monday night game will be interesting to see if the Cowboys can finally win a playoff game. But it is against the GOAT, Tom Brady. I'll still give it to the Cowboys because Bucks are 8-9, but Tommy could win it potentially.
Alrighty. Yeah, I mean that's very good synopsis for all the games. For me, going through that order, yeah, Seahawks at Niners, 4:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Check your local listings. Like how you said, these are two divisional rivals. They already played each other twice this year, and that 49ers defense shut them down each time. Back in week 2, the Niners beat the Seahawks 27-7. San Fran followed that up with a 21-13 win in week 15. The only thing that might be working in Seattle's favor is the fact that the rookie QBs tend to struggle in the playoffs, which, I mean, I would say Geno, not that he's a rookie, but, being back in the limelight might hinder him. But going back to just pure rookie status, they are 9-18 since 1983. So, yeah, I also have the Niners in this one. One time, 2 times, 3 times, you're out. So, yeah, Niners for me. Chargers at Jags, 8:15 p.m. Eastern, NBC. It's a rematch for one of the gnarliest, craziest games of the year back in week 3. The Jaguars destroyed the Chargers 38-10 on the road. Trevor Lawrence threw for 3 touchdowns on a day where the Jags put up 413 yards of total defense. Moving on to Sunday, January 15th, Dolphins at the Bills, 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. The two teams split their season series with each team winning at home. But it's worth keeping note that both games were decided by 3 points or less. So I'm assuming we're going to get a close game here. The big question is, revolves around who will be starting at quarterback for the Dolphins. Right now, Tua, he's under concussion protocol. Teddy Bridgewater, he has a hurt finger. So they're both banged up. If he can't go, we got... if he can't go, Skylar Thompson will get the start. So that should be interesting. I have the Bills winning this one. So, yeah. Giants at Vikings, 4:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox as well. They played one of the wildest games of the season on Christmas Eve, and a matchup that wasn't decided until Greg Joseph hit a 61-yard field goal on the final play. This will be Minnesota's first home playoff game since the Minneapolis Miracle in January 2018. Oh man, you know how hard it was for me to like not write that down, but I knew it'd be important info. My poor Saints, bro. If that one guy would have just tackled the one fool, would have been donezo. But I do kind of agree with you. I think the Giants. Well, I think the Vikings are a better team, but it's the Giants, and the Giants have always been trouble in the playoffs. Ask Mr. Tom Brady, and yeah, my gut feeling says the Vikings should win this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants win as well. A little bit of an upset in that case. Also on Sunday, January 15th, we have Ravens at Bengals, 8:15 p.m. Eastern on NBC. It's not clear if Lamar Jackson's going to play like how you said. He has a banged up knee, but even if he does, yeah, he hasn't played in 6 weeks, which is a month. Hasn't seen the field. Jackson led the Ravens to a 19-17 win over the Bengals back in Week 5, but the Bengals got the revenge with a 27-16 win in Week 18 to get a split of the season series. So basically, you got your rubber match here. Yeah, I don't see the Ravens doing well here. I think the Bengals have a lot of experience from the prior season. So, yeah, give me the Bengals in this game. Monday, January 16th, yeah, Cowboys at Bucks, 8:15 p.m. Eastern, ABC and ESPN. If the Cowboys are going to advance the divisional round, they're going to have to do something they've never done before. Beat Tom Brady. So, yeah, the Cowboys are 0-7 all time against the Buccaneers QB, and that includes a Week 1 loss where Tampa Bay toppled them 19-3. All right, this pains me to say this, but I think the Cowboys are going to pull it off. I don't know how, but they're going to do the damn thing. Okay, who do you have winning this game, Alex?
I said Cowboys.
Okay, so we're in agreement. But yeah, that's who I have going in winning these wild card games. But quick question and a quick thought. What do you think about having a wild card game on a Monday?
Well, I don't hate it because it's kind of fun, especially because there's nothing to do on that. There's nothing else to watch on that Monday, but it does look better when it's like 3 Saturday, 3 Sunday, but there is more to watch Saturday anyways. So I'm a little bit in favor of it, at least.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather have like all the games on the weekend and then just get it over with instead of having to wait for one more game over the weekend. I mean, on the weekday. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's understandable. There's nothing to do on Monday, so you get Monday Night Football.
At least
But yeah,
they
wait, what
picked
happened?
a better game. Like they picked one of the better games. So
Yeah, that's true. I can see that. I can understand that. Um, I don't know. From each of these games that we've mentioned, which game do you think would be considered an upset if the underdog were to win?
Dolphins, but they're not gonna win. I think Giants would be a little bit of an underdog. Ravens, like if Lamar comes back and Ravens win, then at least that's like somewhat plausible. That would be an upset, but I don't think they're gonna win. Bucks really aren't an underdog, and Jacksonville Chargers are even. Seahawks if they beat Niners too. But
I find it very interesting. You said if the well, I mean they're playing the Bills, but I don't think the Dolphins are that bad. I mean, yeah, they're the 7th seed, but I mean, like how we were previously saying about a certain Bulldog team, you know, I feel like they've kind of like huddled around. They've gotten better and better every year. So I mean, yeah, Tua's like an excellent quarterback. So if he plays, we should be looking at an interesting matchup. They are playing in Buffalo, which gets very, very cold, opposite of Miami. But I don't know. I have to disagree on that one. For me, my actual like upset would be Giants over the Vikings. Second closest would be Ravens at the Bengals, because I don't think they got a dime store chance to win this game in my opinion. But yeah, that's who I got going into this. What else we got here? The only other thing to speak about for like the rounds itself, and for the people wondering that are nerds like me, the divisional round would be Saturday the 21st, and then Sunday January 22nd. The NFL will announce the divisional round schedule during the wild card games. Here are two things to know really quickly. The Chiefs and the Eagles will be hosting a game, and the winner of the Cowboys Bucks game will be playing on Sunday, January 22nd. But yeah, is there any in particular player from the divisional rounds you're expecting to have a good playoff run, or at least have a good game this weekend?
Well, Brock Purdy could have a Tom Brady-esque run. So that could be pretty good. Kirk Cousins will hopefully have a good game. Tom Brady and Dak would both need to. I'm assuming Joe Burrow will have a good game. Lamar would need one in order to win. But I think the most interesting quarterback and possibly player would be Brock Purdy. So
Yeah, okay, he has the hot hand right now, so you expect him to do good. And I was like asking around this past couple days. You have Brock Purdy. You guys have had a great end of season run. You guys had a pretty good, in my opinion, quarterback right before him was Jimmy Garoppolo. What do you do now? Once Jimmy's all fit and ready, I know they were trying to send them off before, but I feel like he's a really good talent. What do the 49ers need to do now with, in my opinion, two-star quarterbacks?
but I think Jimmy will leave for some other team, which might be the Jets, who need a quarterback. Tampa might need a quarterback. Green Bay might need a quarterback. Dolphins might need a quarterback. So, I mean, there's a fair amount of jobs for him. But they used all those picks on Trey Lance. So I feel like you got to test him out. And then if he's not good, you could go back to Purdy. But it also just depends. If Purdy makes like a legendary run, then maybe you can just skip Trey Lance and just go with Purdy anyways. But
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, I am kind of surprised you said the Jets. Who do the Jets have right now?
nobody.
Who's gone? Wait, who is it?
Nobody.
They have nobody.
Yeah. It's Mike White, was injured, and he's kind of a backup now. And Zach Wilson blows, and Joe Flacco's really old and blows. So, and
Wait, but I thought everyone hopped on the Zach Wilson train.
I think everyone hopped off at this point.
Oh shit.
Um,
He's not dating no one's moms no more. Is that what happened?
but with a good quarterback, the Jets could actually be good. So.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I thought Sam Darnold was like decent. Like I
Yeah,
thought he was not that bad.
he had a decent end for the Panthers.
I know, but you see like how his career just, I don't know. I mean, not to go off the rails here, but the Jets need to find a QB. Hopefully Jimmy does fit that mold if he does leave. Where else did you say? I mean, I thought Tampa, your example there was really good. I mean, considering if Tom wants to stick around again, but we'll have to wait and see for that. Where else did you say they need a QB?
I think in Dolphins might.
You think they're not gonna have Tua no more? Nah, you're tripping, bro.
Depends, because I don't know how good he is, and I also he might just not play again because of all his concussions. So
You think he's gonna bust the RG3 and just have to retire because of injury?
yeah, so that's like why they might need one, but we'll have to see how
Mm,
it plays out.
that's crazy. I mean, I never really thought of it that way, but I mean, it makes sense. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is, you know.
You
But
know,
hey, what
Tom
happened?
Brady might go to your New Orleans Saints.
I know I heard about that because supposedly they want to bring Sean back, or at least Sean's gonna go somewhere else and then tag team with Mr. Brady. But I think personally that's a long shot. Uh, I know Sean just kind of just disappeared, and Brady. It's been a rough year for him, or at least last year was pretty rough. So we have to, like I said, wait and see where. I mean, it'd be cool. It'd be great. I think Dalton's done a pretty good job. I, I know we have a specific playing style down in New Orleans, but I mean, it'd be welcoming, is what I will say right now. Because like I said, I want to see performance on the field than just say, oh yeah, it'd be a lock in. You feel me? 'Cause I feel
Yeah,
like it's burned too many people in the past.
Brady's rumored for Dolphins too. So
Damn, chill. Looks, I told you Miami's on the come up.
yeah,
But one of the other places that you mentioned was Green Bay, and very quickly, one Aaron Rodgers, who may or may not be returning, which I didn't get into. I got into a very interesting conversation the other day after the Packers game on YouTube. I was putting up stats, and I said that Aaron Rodgers was 0-4, and like basically not very good stats on his part. But oh no, he was 3-1 in his final games. He had beaten the Bears twice. Oh dang, I forgot who the other one was. He was 3-0 prior to losing to the Lions the other day, or 3-0, excuse me. And now he's 3-1, and this guy was like, "Well, I highly doubt he's gonna retire because he would have to give back all his money, and he still has like years on his contract." And I'm like, he was like, talk about his like losing streak in the playoffs instead. I was like, all right. So I did, yeah, 0-4 against the Niners, 0-4 and like the championship games ever since they won the Super Bowl. So yeah, it hasn't been a string of good luck for Mr. Rogers. But do you see him returning? Because I don't.
I think he'll return to the NFL, but I I could see him returning to the Packers just because I don't even know where else he would go. Like he could maybe go to like Washington or um like the Rams maybe, like maybe the Jets. Like some of the teams do need QBs, but he's threatened to leave Packers in the past and hasn't. So I don't know, but I think he'll still play in the National Football League. It just depends what teams need quarterbacks, I guess.
Because I believe he still has like 2 more years on his contract. And apparently, to this guy that was talking to me the other day, he would have to give back or give up $49 million, which any sensible person most of the time is not giving up that money. So like I've been saying, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but we just gotta wait and see what happens. I just don't want it to be like a carousel, like when Adam Scheffner released that article on ESPN saying that Rodgers was leaving, like on the day of the draft. Like that was kind of ridiculous to like put that out there and not have like reputable recent sources and his explanation of, well, it's not new information. We all know they don't like each other, so he's leaving. So I want a definitive answer from the man at some point, being, hey guys, I'm not retiring, I'm just leaving, or hey, this is it, I'm putting up my boots. You feel me? Like, is that not hard too much to ask for?
It might be with Aaron Rodgers. He likes to create a lot of drama. So
But he's so zen like, it doesn't make any sense. But it is what it is. But
depends on when you catch him. If you catch him on the DMT, then he might be chill. But
That's true. Or you watch him on Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays on the Pat McAfee show.
yeah, on the Pat McAfee show.
I know, how odd. But yeah. Is there anything else you want to add upon in regards to the NFL playoffs that are about to occur soon?
It should be noted that Lamar Jackson has a 1-3 playoff record. Just to add to the Ravens-Bengals game, but that's about it.
You said 1-3. That's pretty bad.
I think it's 1-4 even.
Oh gosh, man, I'll say very quickly, his career has kind of dwindled down. I used to be very high on Lamar Jackson just due to the fact he could throw and he could run. In comparison to someone like Jared Allen, who in regards to Allen, he's progressed in the right direction in comparison to Lamar Jackson, who has degressed in the wrong direction. You feel me?
Yeah. It was kind of always going to be like that because one can throw and one's more of a runner. So I think Lamar Jackson kind of hit his peak when he won the MVP. He's still a good quarterback, but he won't ever be like MVP. And then also, it would help if he could stay in the game. But he's definitely one of the top, 10, 8 quarterbacks. But he will probably never win MVP again.
My mistake. I said Jared Allen. I meant to say Josh Allen. Excuse me. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. I always get names mixed up. There's too many. Whenever there's similar names, I do goof up sometimes. So my apologies to everybody. My apologies to Mr. Allen. But yeah.
Jared Goff.
What you were about to say? There you go, Jared Goff. Yeah.
And Josh.
That might be why I get them confused.
Yeah.
They have similar names and they play quarterback.
Yeah.
But yeah. If you have nothing else to add in regards to the NFL, that's it for me as well. Yeah, we're looking forward to let's hopefully cross our fingers that we get really good football games, unlike the CFP Final. So, I mean, it's professional football, so I'm not surprised if there's blowouts. But hopefully they're a little bit more entertaining. You feel me?
So last year's wild card, there were 2 good games and 4 bad games. This year, it's kind of setting up for 4 good games and 2 bad games. But then also last year, once you got past the wild card round, they were all good games. So we'll see.
That is true. I do remember all the games being very, very close. I remember, yeah, there was a lot of shellackings, and after that, it was all close games, which is what I like to see. But I also put a disclaimer: competitive close games. Not no sloppy fumble, interception every 2 minutes close games, because those are boring to watch. But yes, Alex, are you ready to move on in our program now?
Yes.
Wonderful, because guess what? Do you know what we're talking about?
This is the XFL.
Yes, Mr. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, you are correct. We are talking XFL. I don't know. I'm assuming everybody that listens to our program, Programming Runoff, loves football. So, and there was more football news. So the XFL finally released their schedule for this year. And if y'all don't know, Vincent Kennedy McMahon did sell the XFL for some strange reason, in my opinion.
To the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. Dwayne
yes.
Rock Johnson.
Yeah, right. Out of all people, kind of random. But yeah, the XFL on its, what do you want to say, third leash on life, I guess you could say, in connection with ESPN, will be starting February 18th. So very, very soon. So basically in a month, they will be kicking off Saturday, February 18th, 2023 at 3 p.m. Eastern on ABC with not the Las Vegas Vipers, just I guess the Vegas Vipers, according to their press release. The Vegas Vipers against the Arlington Renegades at Choctaw Stadium. Other matchups on the bill, we got the Orlando Guardians going up against the Houston Roughnecks. That would be found on ESPN and FX, which, Alex, I'm gonna be honest, when I saw FX, I was like, wait, why would ESPN have games on Fox? And I forgot Disney bought Fox, but makes sense now. On February 19th, the St. Louis Battlehawks will be going up against the San Antonio Brahmas. Sounds familiar, Brahmas, at the Alamo Dome on ABC. And the 19th as well, we got the Seattle Sea Dragons and the DC Defenders returning to the XFL at Audi Field, where they played their games prior to the 2020 pandemic. Alex, are you looking forward to any of these XFL games coming very soon?
Yeah, I'll definitely tune into the first couple of weeks. All the stadiums are pretty nice too. They're either like ex-NFL stadiums. The Sea Dragons is the Seahawks, and then one of them's the Rangers Stadium before, and then some like the Seattle one is not Seattle. The St. Louis one's the old Rams one. So they're all pretty nice stadiums except for Vegas, which is a converted minor league baseball stadium. But I kind of like that it's shitty. So, but I do enjoy some spring football, and some of the rosters do have some semi-notable players, so it should be pretty fun. If you just go through the quarterbacks, even Kyle Solder played for the USFL last year, and he also was on the Jacksonville preseason. Drew played for Ball State in the MAC. Jared King played for Houston, and Jordan Tamu played for the XFL before. He was also in the USFL. Cole McDonald used to play for Hawaii, and he was on the Titans briefly. Brandon Silvers played in the old XFL 2020. Danto Francois used to be a highly rated prospect out of Florida State. He was playing in fan control football last year, and so was Mitch Kidd. They were both on Johnny Manziel's team. At least Mitch Kidd was. Jack Cohn used to be the Notre Dame quarterback. Ben DiNucci played like 2 games for the Dallas Cowboys, and Brian Lewerke was on Michigan State. Jay McCarron played in the XFL and the NFL. He played for both. And he also was at Alabama. And then Ryan Willis played for the Spring League back when that existed a couple years ago. And Luis Perez played in various other Spring Leagues too. So they've got a decent collection of talent.
Yeah, I mean, everything you just said makes it sound good. I just hope that the play on the field is actually good in regards to also the coaching. Right before, the end of the world happened, the XFL was kind of on a big tear. I would say, I mean, you got, how do I say this? You got what you paid for. You had half really good teams and you have really crappy teams. I feel like my favorite team might have been the DC Defenders. I know they weren't all that, but they were kind of fun to watch. You had them playing at Audi Field, and they were like, I would say pretty good to watch, pretty fun to watch, I should say. But I am kind of sad they got rid of like a lot of the teams. Like they got what was the LA Wildcats? We were playing down at Dignity Health Sports Park for a bit, so it is kind of sad that they got rid of their LA market. Who was another one? Wasn't it Tampa Bay or something? Right? Wasn't it the Tampa Bay Vipers?
Yeah, the thing is, Tampa Bay has a USFL team, so.
But they're not even playing in Tampa Bay yet.
That is true. But
that's weird, huh?
It's like since the USFL came a year before, they stole some of the markets. So I think eventually they'll probably merge into one entity. But for now, they'll probably still be able to play full seasons, so that'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, third time's the charm, right? So
yeah,
they have to get a full season. I believe it's 10 weeks, no breaks. Let me see. I have it pulled up somewhere else. It's 10 weeks of football. There's at least 3 to 4 games a day. I think no, two or three. Sorry, I'm trying to look up my notes on the fly. But I'm looking forward to it again. I like that it's a little bit different from traditional NFL football because if they keep the same rules around, like you got your 1 point, 2 point, 3 point conversion tries, so that it mixes it up. You get to see diamonds in the rough that that probably passed over and then in the NFL, and they try to make a comeback. So it's all good in the hood. Let me see. Okay, yes. Just some more information. So yeah, the season starts February 18th, and the end of the season culminates in April with the playoffs, April 29th and April 30th, and then the championship game is on May 13th. So what is that? February, March, April, May. What, like 3-4 months of spring football basically?
Yeah, and then I think like the last month goes up against the start of the USFL season, so it'll be fun to see what league does better ratings and has more interest.
No, yeah. I mean, I know this is an XFL segment, but I'm looking forward to the USFL as well. I know you've mentioned last time that you're gonna be doing some coverage on that. Cause what they're gonna be playing in Memphis this year? Is that what they're doing? Just in one location?
They might play in. They're playing in Memphis. They might still be playing in Alabama again too. I heard a rumor they want to play in like Michigan possibly too. So
They're gonna try to go a little bit closer to your neck of the woods.
yeah, which would be cool because then maybe I'd go. But
Oh no, that'd be sick, dude. Some live tweeting from a real game, from a USFL game, dude. You should do it.
we'll see.
But yeah, I'm hoping for good games because I would hate for this to start up because I know when like the USFL started last year, not a lot of people wanted to watch it because it didn't really resonate well with the NFL crowds, and I think a lot of people were just kind of in a lighthearted way tired of watching football. I mean, like how we said, like a lot of the games were very competitive, and they were like your eyeballs were glued to the screen every playoff game. So by the time USFL came around, it was like okay, like it's different, but I think it was too different. So I'm hoping with the XFL, it's nothing too crazy. I hope it's as fun as it was when they came back again the first time around. So yeah, I hope we get a good product on the field. Honestly, I would hate for it to stumble. Considering, yeah, I'll admit, I know I've talked about it. I love me some wrestling. You got Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I mean, I'm not a Rock stan, but I would hate for something from that I grew up watching like as a child basically kind of falter down, you know? So yeah, I'm hoping for great things.
I think we'll definitely have a successful season. So yeah, it should be fun.
Well, they
Oh,
better, because I want to be turning on my TV and some no-name quarterback is throwing to some no-name wide receiver, and the no-name quarterback is 1 for 10 on his throws. Okay, that'd be terrible.
also, all the games will also be on ESPN Plus. So there's that too.
I used to have ESPN Plus, but I stopped paying for it because I stopped watching stuff.
Also, if you look at like the schedule, they have sometimes they'll have like a Thursday game, a Saturday game, a Sunday, and a Monday. Or sometimes they'll have 2 Saturdays and Sundays. Or sometimes they'll have 1 Saturday, 2 Sundays, and Monday, uh, like the Monday night. And they have like various time slots too. So it's kind of be fun to mix it up different weeks also.
No, yeah. I mean, so you get your football fix throughout the next 3 to 4 months, basically.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm hoping for a good time. But do you have anything else to add in regards to the XFL and its upcoming season?
I do not.
Alrighty then. I do not either. So with that being said, let me go back to there we go, original doc. Are you ready to start the rundown?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. So from the warm up to the rundown, very quickly, the MLS is less than 50 days until kickoff of the 2023 season. They recently announced some of the people that will be spearheading the new Apple TV TV deal with some familiar names. We got people like Taylor Twellman, who just left ESPN. We got dang it, I always say her name wrong. Julie Sakowitz. Dang it, I gotta get it down. Anyways, she used to be for the Bally Sports team in Atlanta. So it's great to see her move up to the billing. Oh, Julian Sakovitz. Dang it, I was trying to read it and say I couldn't do it, but we got some other familiar faces. Max Bredos is in there. Sasha Question, who just did some coverage for the World Cup in Qatar, recently retired from the LA Galaxy. Lori Lindsay, she's been around for a bit. Maurice Edu, he spent 5 years recently at Fox Sports. Some former players have also hopped on into this. We got Sebastian Letou, who I remember he was with Philly for a while. And we also got Bradley Wright Phillips, known for his time at New York Red Bulls or Red Bull New York, whatever you want to call them. And then another guy I'm surprising to see on here was Diego Valeri, 2017 MLS MVP and 2015 MLS Cup MVP. So it's great to see him around. Alex, are you excited to see the MLS on Apple TV?
Yeah, we'll see how good of a setup they have and how good their platform is and how easy to use it is and what their preview and post game shows are. And it'll be fun for the games to kick off. I'm gonna try to go to a couple. I'm most interested in the Crew and FC Cincy. Also try to go to a couple USL games as they just released their schedule, like Pittsburgh and Detroit. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to soccer season, and the Apple TV is definitely interesting because it's pretty innovative for professional sports leagues. So
Yeah. I mean, all good points. I'm looking forward to a great season in here as well. And yeah, I totally forgot. Yeah, the USL just released their schedule, and you said Pittsburgh, like the Riverhounds.
yeah,
Dude, that's a deep cut right there. For our listeners, yeah, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds play in the USL. And what was the other team you said that you wanted to go check out? Oh, Detroit. Yeah, Detroit City, right?
yeah, it's like Detroit City FC or something like that.
Yeah, their colors like a red or burgundy and gold with the
Yeah.
the ninja guy. It's not a ninja guy, but he's like doing a pose. Yeah, dude, I totally forgot about that. But yeah, I did see in the post that they put about Apple TV, they are demanding that MLS sides, specifically with their media teams, like post press conferences, do bios on half of the team, do bios video bios on historic players, historic moments from the club. So it's gonna be interesting to see how each team shows their stuff. So I'm ready for it. It's also gonna be interesting to see how the newer teams do that, because how do you, if you're St. Louis, how do you post media stuff on your historic outcome when you're brand new? But
I bet
what
they
you got?
have they'll be the ones that'll have a Hard Knocks type of thing. They'll be first training, they'll have a show that's multiple episodes about their first training camp and couple games or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that happening. That makes total sense. I like that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the season. I hope there's good content. It'd be a shame that if you're a bottom tier MLS club and like your team doesn't know what to post and how to organize it, that'd be really shitty in my opinion. But hopefully your Columbus Crew got something ready in the burner, so I'd be ready to check that out as well. I like seeing me a lot of MLS coverage too. But yes. Also bonus, not MLS related, but U.S. soccer related. The U.S. men's national team and the U.S. women's national team coverage will now be on TNT, which is weird in my opinion. So looking forward to watching some more soccer on different platforms nowadays.
It's more
But
mainstream,
yeah,
I guess. So.
that's true.
Because it was on CBS Sports.
Yeah, it was for a bit. Yeah. Well, that was for like the qualifiers, and then ESPN had some of their games as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, they everyone's moved away from, I guess you could say, basic television, local coverage, basic cable coverage. So it's all streaming. So just gotta wait and see what happens now. Moving on in our rundown coverage here, really quickly. I know I said we don't cover a lot of hockey, so I do my best. But the NHL All-Star roster was revealed, in which now fans can vote to add 12 more players. The NHL All-Star game is a little bit different. It's not just your traditional game, like in like the NBA, for example. They got the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. In the Eastern Conference, they have the Atlantic Division and then the Metropolitan Division, in which the Atlantic Division has their own squad of like 8 players, I believe. And then the Metropolitan also has a squad of 8. And then the Western Conference, they have the Pacific and the Central, in which the Pacific has their own team and the Central has their own team. So basically, in the All-Star game, there are 2 10-minute halves in which teams play 3-on-3. The winner of each semifinal moves on to the final game. If there's a tie in any of these games, a 3-round shootout will ensue to determine a winner. And this year's All-Star game will be February 3rd and the 4th. It would be at FLA Live Arena in Sunrise, Florida. I believe, if my facts are correct, Florida was originally supposed to host the NHL All-Star game, but was postponed due to the pandemic. So it's good that, the NHL was able to follow up and, allowing Florida to host the NHL All-Star game. Alex, have you ever watched an NHL All-Star game?
If not, their new format kind of sounds like what the NBA did with their Rising Stars game, which they went to a tournament like type format for that too, which seemed to be pretty good. So maybe I'll have to watch this year's just to see the format. I'm trying to watch maybe more hockey too, so that might be a good place to start.
Yeah, same. I tried seeing if I could watch more hockey because it's going to be on ESPN and TNT and the TBS networks. I have not watched a single game. I don't know. I think it's still kind of hard for me. Like, I like hockey. It's just that like I won't. It's not high up on my tier list of things to prioritize at the moment. Like, we cover it. Like, I'll retweet or comment about it on the socials, but other than that, that's like really it. So yeah, I might have to check it out as well. Moving on, a little bit of boxing news. Graventa Tank Davis rocked Hector Luis Garcia with the left hand in the closing moments of round 8, prompting the underdog to retire on his stool ahead of the 9th round Saturday in Washington, D.C. Garcia was telling his trainers on his bench on his stool he couldn't see out of one of his eyes, so he didn't know where he was at, and that's what he said in the post-match interview, which prompted the stoppage, in which now Mr. Davis now looks to fight another Garcia, Ryan Garcia, hopefully very soon, which may have to wait as Davis has to retrain. And apparently doing some background checks, Davis has to go to court for a dispute he had a couple months ago or a month ago. So we'll have to see now where Davis goes from here in his boxing career. And hopefully he gets that fight with Ryan Garcia. Alex, do you like boxing?
Somewhere.
Like, what do you like about it?
I do like to watch Tyson Fury But I honestly mostly just watch the influencer boxing. So
Oh gosh, I'm not even gonna mention the man's name. I already know who you're talking about.
like KSI fights this weekend actually, but
Oh gosh,
I do
is he
like
gonna win?
yeah, he'll probably win. I do like me
Bro.
some Jake Paul, so
Oh gosh, Alex, you have broken a streak. I have purposely avoided saying that man's name on this program.
yeah, I'm a big Jake Paul guy because
Bruh.
he's from the town right next to mine, so
I mean that's cool, but I don't know. It just never really caught my attention. But yeah, I also take in some boxing when I can, but it is kind of hard to watch when you got to pay. It costs a little bit of my own pocket, so I don't always get to watch it.
yeah. My friend likes Canelo too, so
Canelo's pretty good.
yeah.
I thought his last fight was a fluke on his part because he seemed out of it. So hopefully Canelo also makes a comeback this year as well. But yeah. Moving on here, we got. I feel like a broken record saying this. MLB Carlos Correa. All right, I know last week we said he was going to the Mets, but now this week he is now going to. Can you guess where? The Minnesota Twins again. Wow, what a surprise! Wow, are you surprised or no?
I not may I don't know because like Twins kind of are looking to get better, and they usually buy people. So
That is true.
I guess not, but they're not exactly contenders right now either. So I don't know.
I mean, he's going there for 6 years, 200 million, and hopefully now that nagging injury that stopped him from the Giants and now stopped him from the Mets doesn't hurt his chances now. I mean, he was just there, so it's not like they don't know his status. Apparently, prior to this, he was with the Twins before, signed a 3-year deal, 105.3 million contract with 2 opt-outs with the Twins last offseason. And after a strong 2022 season, he exercised the first opt-out to test free agency. And well, we saw how that worked out. It didn't work out well, in my opinion. But hey, it's his life. He can do whatever he wants. But similar to Mr. Aaron Rodgers, it just becomes one big giant carousel of he goes here, he goes there, will he or won't he? And it just becomes kind of ridiculous in my opinion. But what do you think of this outcome now of him? I mean, other than it not being good, like is it
I'll,
is it gonna end well?
I'll let the Twins deal with them.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the best thing we could say and hope for.
Yeah.
Well, we've gotten to the last thing, which we're not gonna stumble upon, and all I like to say is for everyone to know, because you gotta know, because we're rambling runoff. The NBA All-Star voting has begun, and we're not gonna go into detail into it because there's a lot of NBA players, and it's gonna take forever. It's probably gonna take its own rambling runoff show, if anything. But yeah, if you love the NBA, go check out the NBA All-Star voting. Make sure your guy gets in. Make sure he doesn't get in. I don't know. You could do whatever you want. But yeah, if you love some NBA, go check it out. Alex,
Make
we've
sure
covered
Donovan Mitchell
everything.
gets in.
Wait, what?
Get Donovan Mitchell in.
Oh gosh. But yeah, I mean, do you have anything to say in regards to the NBA All-Star game besides get Donovan Mitchell in?
No, the All-Star game last year was pretty good, so they'll have a tough test to follow. So
That is true. But yeah, that's all I got. Do you have anything to say in regards to? I know you had something very interesting last time, so do you got anything for us today?
oh, not really. I'll just say I hope the wildcard games are good. I look forward to watching them. I also look forward to watching some Premier League soccer. You've got Tottenham Arsenal, and then you have Man U, Man City, as well as all the NFL wildcard games week. have covered. So hopefully it's a good weekend in sports.
I couldn't have said it any better, brother. But that's all for today. Thank you for listening to Rambling Runoff. If you're listening on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Like the video as well. If you're on Spotify, like us, follow us. If you're on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, apparently we're on Amazon Podcasts, whatever that is, Prime Podcast. Thank you for listening. If you want to hear more from Rambling Runoff, you can follow us on Twitter at Off Rambling, or look up Rambling Runoff. We're on Instagram as well at Rambling Runoff. You can find us on TikTok as well. Alex, before we go, where can the people find you on the socials?
At O Endzone on Twitter, and then it's like Out of Our Endzone on Instagram, TikTok. And my podcast is on Spotify, Apple Music, Stitcher, Anchor, and a bunch of other ones. So if you listen to a podcast platform, you can probably find it on there.
Yes. Thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it, man. And thank you to our listeners once again for checking us out. I've been your host, Robert Rios. See you next time. Peace out.